Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this this video, we're going to be starting chapter 15, and I've heard a lot about chapter 15 from. There was a seminar that I did by Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj, and so he talked about chapter 15 in that a lot. There were some powerful verses there, so I'm very excited to get to that. It'll be really fun. So so far the first verse, the commentary, I have not understood at all. Prabhupada's, I've understood some bits, but I'll explain those. Yeah, I really need to listen to lectures in order to really understand this, and that might take some time for me to get to the 15 chapter lectures. But yeah, it's very exciting to be able to just scan through the purport and get some sense of it, so that whenever I do end up listening to some lecture sometime, whatever, then I'll understand it deeper. So I'll just explain whatever I'm just learning right now. So I'll just explain whatever I have understood so far, and as I learn more and more, I'll explain more and more as well. Okay, so let's call out to Krishna with our entire hearts. Let's call out to Krishna with everything we've got. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us understand this chapter. Thank you so much, first of all, for helping us go through and understanding the first 14 chapters, at least reading them once, understanding to whatever minute little extent that we have. But thank you for that, because that's the first step. And thank you for giving us this chapter, which talks about the Vedas and the upside down tree. Please help us understand. It's a lot of it has gone over my head, and I'm very eager to understand. So please help understand. I bow before you. I'm trying to remember Satyananda Maharaj's things. So the Lord Krishna has been so merciful that he comes on earth as his holy name. He comes on earth right now in this Kali Yuga. Right now, he is there with us in his holy name. Only if we can access it, not just by saying Radha and Krishna, but by actually being able to access it through the living name, by actually being able to connect with it. And understanding that the name Krishna is actually the person Krishna, Bhagwan, and the name Radha is actually Radharani. So so he says, let us welcome Krishna while we're saying his name. Let us welcome him with a full Aarti ceremony. Let us join the great sages and the saints and welcome Bhagwan Shri Krishna and the divine couple with the full Aarti ceremony and bow down with affectionate respect. So please, Bhagwan, we're doing that. We're welcoming you and we're bowing down, and please help us. Please help us. Please help us. Okay. Let us sing the verse. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Urdhvamulamadhah shakham ashwatham prahuravyayam chandasi yasya parnani yastam veda vedavit. The Supreme Personality, Bhagwan said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upwards and branches downwards, whose leaves are Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. I think the whole 15th chapter, there are 20 verses here. I think the whole of it is about this tree, this upside down banyan tree. So let me go to this commentary first. So basically, the purpose of Vedic study is to understand Krishna. So when we are Krishna conscious, we already know the Vedas. And so when we are, the entanglement of this material world is like the tree. We're going from branch to branch to branch to branch to branch. And the hymns are the leaves of the tree. They are meant to elevate oneself. And the tree's root grow upwards because they begin from where Brahma is located, the topmost planet of this universe. So if we understand this tree, an indestructible tree of illusion, then we can get out of it. How do we understand? So I'm going to go back and forth a little bit. He said that the transcending the effects of the three gunas, we can achieve the divine goal. And exclusive devotion is the best means of transcending that. Now, there are two things. Devotion, how do we do this devotion? By detaching the mind from the world and by attaching it to God. And how understanding the nature of God we have already seen in the previous chapters. So now this chapter is about, so there are two parts: detaching the mind from the world and attaching it to God. So attaching to God we already have seen in the previous chapters. Detaching from the world is what we're going to be doing right now. So he explains this material world graphically using this analogy of the upside down tree, so that Arjun and us can understand its nature, and develop detachment from it. So this is the Ashwath tree, the sacred fig tree. He's calling it the banyan tree, or I don't know, sacred fig tree. So in this, on the branches of this tree where embodied souls are going up and down lifetime after lifetime, and God is the source, so its root is facing upwards. So this, I'll go back to Prabhupada's commentary there because he explains it very well. The three gunas irrigate this tree, which creates the objects of the senses that are like buds. So all of the things that we see around us that we so eagerly want, all of those things are like buds on the tree branches. Okay, so the three gunas, basically, they create the objects of the senses. They create the objects that we are attracted to, like that Frodo, my precious, like all of those things that we consider so precious. Okay, so So the souls are his eternal fragments, and they are divine. They are not under the influence of material nature. They are under. Sorry, I was like, what do you mean they're not? They are under the influence of material nature. So they struggle with their senses, including the mind. The sixth sense is the mind. The soul is not aware of its divine nature, and therefore it just looks for the material objects. So by recognizing God, by recognizing all that God is giving us, then we can recognize the existence of God. How? Because we can basically we're not aware of the soul in the body. We don't know when we die that the soul is leaving, but the yogis can see this through the eyes of knowledge and purity of their mind. So basically we can, now I'm going to go back here. So basically we can start to see it. It's not that complicated. If we just meditate on it, if we go around walking around and we see people, every time we see people, we try to think they are the soul, and the soul is what is shining through their eyes. That's what's giving their eyes their shine. The soul is what is causing the mouth to move in whatever way it is moving. All we need to do is just will it to move and will it to speak, and it moves, right? This is how God creates the whole earth. But this is what we're doing. Our soul is doing the ultimate willing, and then the willing, it's entangled, but it is doing the ultimate willing, and the mouth just moves in the direction it's supposed to move, in the ways and the shapes it's supposed to move. So when we're seeing other people, if we can see okay, there is a soul behind this, and who is that soul? And we can imagine I like to imagine a bright light for myself as well as for others, and that is the soul. So we can just start to then see people. Just one moment. yeah, we can then start to see people as souls instead of seeing them as this material body. We can start to see the reality of who people are. We just have to look for that. This person is not this body. This person is a soul behind that body. I am not this body. I am the soul behind this body. Just think about it. That's all we need to do. Keep meditating on it. Keep ruminating on it. And then all of these external things just fade away. None of it matters. Okay, so now he's talking about the reflection, which is really nice here. He talks about there is no ready experience in this world of a tree situated with branches down and roots upward. We have not seen a real tree like that, but there is. Actually, there is. This tree can be found besides water because we can see the reflection. So what is happening is that Brahma has created this universe. So the roots are up there, but this whole material existence is a reflection of the spiritual existence. So the whole thing basically is right side up in the spiritual world, and we are the wrong side down in the material world. We are a perverted, illusory reflection of the real tree. So even on earth right now, we can see that. I love this example so much. We can see that there, by the side of the water, by a pond, if there is a tree, we can see the reflection, and that is upside down. So this is how this material world is, and we can only see the upside downness. I mean, we can't even see that it's upside down. We're so blind, but we can understand that this is upside down, and the real side up is the spiritual world. The root of this material existence grows upward. The total material from the topmost planet, it begins from the total, which is the topmost planet. There are 14 planets. The topmost is Brahmaloka, and then it goes down, and we are, I think, 8th or something, and then it goes down to 14th is the top, 8th is us, I think, or 7th, 8th, I believe. And then there are 7 more below us, which are like hellish planets, much more hellish planets. So we're really, really lucky to be here, because even people who are on the higher planets want to be here because it is the fastest, easiest way, because higher planets, they're enjoying so much. They don't really feel the need so much. They don't feel that pain that causes them to go to Krishna Lok. But here we do feel that pain, but we're not in like absolute hellish planets. We're in the middle, but we feel that pain enough that we can just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and we can achieve Krishna, we can attain Krishna prem, basically. Yeah, so the tree being a reflection of the real tree is an exact replica. This is what is starting to get confusing for me. Everything is there in the spiritual world. Impersonalists take Brahman to be the root of this material tree. From the root, according to Sankhya philosophy, there's all these things, which are 24 elements. So Brahman is the center of all. If Brahman is the center of all manifestations, that this world is a manifestation of the center by 180 degrees, and the other 180 degrees constitutes the spiritual world. So 180 degrees below is material, 180 degrees above is the spiritual. The material world is a perverted reflection, so the spiritual world must have the same variegatedness, variety, but in reality. But because this one is illusory, that is real. And the Prakriti is the external energy of the Supreme Lord. Purusha is the Supreme Lord himself. That's explained earlier. We've talked about that. I don't remember where we've come across it, but I remember coming across it. The material manifestation is material. It is temporary. It is be seen sometimes. It is not seen sometimes. Okay, so now he talks about the Vedas. So one who knows this process, that the material reflection has to be cut off, they know the Vedas. But if we're attracted to the ritualistic formulas of the Vedas, we're attracted to the leaves of the tree, the beautiful leaves of the tree. We don't know the actual purpose. The actual purpose of the Vedas is to cut down this reflected tree and attain the real tree of the spiritual world. So the actual purpose of the Vedas is to attain the real tree. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to go through this one also. So yeah, he speaks about the Ashwath tree. The roots are going upwards. The leaves nourish the material existence of the souls and perpetuate the continuous cycle of life and death. So Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj had said that you can use the Vedas to entangle yourself or liberate yourself. So the Vedas, if we're just looking at the Vedas, the hymns, and we can use it to pray to the demigods, do rituals, and get stuff from God, or we can use it to liberate ourselves. He was talking about how everything, so many things can be used either to entangle ourselves or to liberate ourselves. So, yeah. Those who know this tree with root upward will not believe that death can finish them. Yeah, we know that we are the soul. Okay. So one who knows the secret of cutting this tree of samsara is the knower of the Vedas, not the person who knows the hymns of the Vedas, but the person who knows the ultimate goal of the Vedas, something like that. Like there's some little pieces I'm not fully understanding, but I think the bulk of it. Actually, as I was speaking to you, I understood it deeper and better. So thank you for allowing me to speak to you. Okay. So I'm very, very excited for this chapter, for the rest of this chapter. I'm very excited that we started this right now. I wish you a day filled with lots and lots of deep realization, deep spiritual realizations, deep spiritual breakthroughs, and a lot of Krishna's mercy, because he's the one who gives these deep breakthroughs. Wish you a beautiful, beautiful day. Radhe Radhe.